Again, Kevin Culp, PM Head of Cloud Management Solutions here at Supermicro, continuing our podcast on building and monitoring an AI factory. In the previous video, we talked about cooling tower as a data center asset. It's really a site infrastructure solution for our DCBBS initiatives. And so today we're going to look at an InRow solution, which is the InRow CDU that is to support 10 racks. It's a scalable type of option or viable option for you in your data center to support 10 racks instead of putting 10 racks with an in-rack CDU in each particular individual rack. So this in-row CDU is going to be associated with this concept of a group that we talked about in a previous video in the rear door exchanger. So this is another valuable option here for you in the data center. So here we are in the landing page. So let's get at it and log in and see what we can see here with sensor data collection on an InRow CDU. So let's log in here. And we expose this particular InRow CDU in our coolant infrastructure here on the side card or basically menu option. So we're going to choose the InRow CDU option here. And then you can see here any InRow CDUs that are part of your data center assets will be listed in this particular table here. And we provide some unique information here in regards to the ability for you to connect into the BMC of that InRow CDU. Also the row location that we have set up here. So when you go in through pod view and associate particular racks, within pod view of the InRow CDU, it will be listed here in the group name, as well as information in regards to the CDU status, the product SKU, and the type of InRow CDU, the model, which is, in our case, we have one of them, which supports 1.8 megawatts of throughput. All right, so on the left-hand side here of the pane, we break down the tree architecture associated with the InRow CDU. We only have one here that we're actually looking at today. And you'll notice here that the icon here is different. So each time we bring in a data center asset, we have a different icon to represent that particular asset within the data center. And so we're going to click there. So we can click there or click here. So we'll click here. And then what that does is it brings up an image of the front and rear view of the InRow CDU. And in the top here, we provide you with a carousel view, a high level view of sensor data collection that we are actually exposing within our platform to provide your essential lifecycle management for a liquid cooled data center. And you'll notice here that the mouse is placed into the carousel view and the data stops scrolling. The metadata that we present within this screen view stops basically scrolling. And if we remove it, it will continue to scroll. On the right-hand side here under physical assets, we have information here indicating that the firmware version, the CDU status, if it's an alert status, and some other metadata that we've collected from the BMC through Redfish to expose within your CDU widget or data center asset. All right. So on the left-hand side here, we have a navigation view that opens up additional information we can look at as it relates to sensor data. So we'll click there. And what we can do here is click on the sensor reading information. And it's rich in metadata, right, that we provide, such as the CDU status alert, control unit is good, operational mode is auto, so on and so forth. We can scroll down here and look at various different sensor data that we're collecting from this InRow CDU. And if we continue down here, we see delta values here indicated, represented in decimal values indicating ambient temperature, coolant return temperature, supply temperature, so on and so forth. So finding all this information such as pressure and also consumption. And if we go over and look at the analytics page too as well, which gives more of a graphic view of what we're seeing here in regards to different types of tables that we represent here, which are linear charts and then bar charts. You can see here we have additional information we expose here based on consumption, humidity seems to be relatively stable across the board here for each particular delta. It varies a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. And then underneath here, we also have temperature indicating coolant supply temperature, coolant supply temperature spare, so on and so forth. And if you click on every one of these, you'll notice there that the other values that we're actually exposing or displaying in the view here go to the background, and the one that we're looking specifically goes to the foreground, right, which is the coolant supply temperature. And you'll notice here, if we continue to cross here, you can see that that zeroes in on the delta values or the representation of the sensor data that you want to collect. So let's go down and we'll look at pressure too as well, which is an interesting kind of linear graph here. And if you continue along here with your mouse and look at each of these, we provide a nifty tooltip that you can zero in and look at the actual representation of those sensor values real time. That is in a nutshell here. We'll look at the InRow CDU rack mapping. We don't have anything there at present that we've associated, so we'll see no records there. But if we had those rack mappings or racks that were associated with this InRow CDU, they would show up here with the rack location names and the information and metadata here to give you a better understanding of what racks are associated with this particular InRow CDU. So that completes today's presentation or view on this data center asset called InRow CDU. It's a great valuable solution for you to scale in your liquid cooled data center. Thanks for joining today. We'll see you across the aisle.